From coaches to casuals, grassroots to the league, this is Open Gems. I'm Coach Q.
Coach T, who I be.
It's been a new court ruling. They've opened it up to where JUCO, you can play 2 full years of JUCO, and those won't count against your 4 years of eligibility when it comes down to NCAA and being able to play. So in essence, you can almost say that they have instituted permanent COVID, the COVID year, to where it used to be like you could redshirt and then you had like a COVID year now. But now it's going to be just generally speaking, everybody can get 6 years. If you go to JUCO route. And that could be you play 1 year, then you go do two JUCOs, then you go. How do you see this impacting kids at the high school level first? Like I think it'll have its impact across the board, but kids at the high school level, how do you see it impacting these new JUCO rules?
I mean, that kind of hurts, because if you look at it on the aspect of, I was watching something about that early on this week, and the dude kind of was saying, like, you got to be really nice, as far as like to get the offer now with doing this, because, instead of taking a chance on a kid that's, that has potential in the, in the 12th grade or 11th grade, you're like, okay, he got potential, but then you got a kid that's already seen it, and then he need to get his grades up a little bit, to get the
body already filled out.
Yep, body already filled out. And now he's in there and he's competing at a high level. It's like, I could go with him because he already in the final.
You already know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Hell, that's how UConn built their first championship. Bunch of proven transfer portal kids.
Yeah.
Like now he's bringing in like his pieces, but when he first did it, it was transfer portal kids. I think the transfer portal in itself was really impactful once they did that. Because previous to the transfer portal being what it is now, you had to sit out a year if you did transfer programs. So it made it to where kids would stick it out a little bit. To where now you could pretty much transfer. I think you can transfer 2 times, right? Without any penalty. You don't have to sit out a year. You don't have to wait. It's nothing. And so when you take a lot of kids transferring to different programs, and then now that opens up the ability for JUCO kids to come in and then stay longer also. Like the pool of like adult athletes are going to be so big to where if you're a program, whether it's your win now or you're a mid-major that want to make up, like really make some noise, like you have all these bigger, stronger, older kids that are just out there,
right,
to be able to kind of pick from in comparison to like having high school kids where like you'll have your 1 and 2 that are like body wise ready,
right,
and talented. But I think a lot of those kids that was going to get those scholarships that maybe you was going to kind of ride that bench for a year or so. And then you was going, whether you redshirted or you just kind of like, like you set that year to kind of develop, you're getting in very spot minutes and stuff like that. I think those scholarships will be going out to the transfer portal, those JUCO, the older JUCO kids, especially, like I said, if you're inside, let's say like the MEAC, like that's Division I, pretty much that whole conference get one bid to the NCAA.
Yeah,
everybody's fighting to try and find that.
Yeah,
just to get on that stage. Maybe you can be a Cinderella, and then all that money go to your program, and then that's big. They're gonna take bigger, like more of a chance on a proven kid that got film against like real adult players in comparison. Like, let me get this kid out there in Farmville, North Carolina, that I ain't really seen him play against like all the best, but I like what I see. I could develop that.
Yeah.
And then again, the transfer portal hurts because now not parents, but coaches are afraid of like overly coaching, and that they can't really develop kids either.
Yeah.
Because they out.
Yeah.
Like you sit them and teach them a little lesson for a long enough time, they out.
Yeah.
I don't know that. Like I said, that's what I'm seeing.
I mean, bro, when you listen to it, I don't like it. I like the transfer portal to a certain extent. But when it comes to that JUCO rule, like I didn't know Dalton Connect did that. They said they was talking about Dalton Connect.
Yeah, Dalton was like he's older.
Yeah,
I think he benefited from the JUCO and the COVID year.
The JUCO, yeah. So speaking on that with the new rules, like, and they was talking about the quarterback from, was it?
I think that's
Pavia?
where the ruling comes from.
Yeah, Pavia, the quarterback.
Yeah.
But my thing is with that, okay, I don't like that because that can hurt with, you got a son in the fight. You know, he may get overlooked because of that. And then now end up, you know, and I don't like speaking under existence. He's going to get what he's going to get to him. But that makes it hard for the guy that's putting the work in is what I'm saying. You know, like you putting in work, you get up, I see your story in the morning, you getting up 5 a.m, 6 a.m with your son and y'all putting work in, right? Still take a chance on that kid is what I'm saying. You know, like don't, just because this kid is, you know, then, you know, didn't have his act right in 12th grade and then he goes to JUCO and then he gets his grades right. And then now he's going against grown men and he should look like that. But don't throw all your cards in on that. The beauty of basketball is the what if and when you take a chance on and, you know, when you hear the stories of this team drafted this player but didn't believe in him and push him here, or we took a chance on this player and nobody else didn't want him, and then boom, here you go. He you know what I'm saying? He becomes who he is. So, you know, I don't like the JUCO rule. If you ask me if I'm for it or against it, I don't like it. But the transfer portal, I'm not totally against it. I just think, which I think you said, because I didn't read too much on it, but they do have stipulations, is what you said.
Well, they used to.
Okay. So now they can just jump around.
Yeah, that's, and I'm not a big fan of either. I'm kind of like so traditional with it. I'm not a big fan of like NIL with the transfer portal or this new rule. Yeah. Where previously you had to sit out, and this is like, I think maybe the ruling came during like 2020 around COVID time, where prior to that, if you transferred programs, you had to sit out a year unless it was like something dealing with like your parents or a medical like thing to where you needed to be inside this specific state. And that'd be where you could get a waiver from. But outside of that, if you just was transferring the transfer, you was losing a year of eligibility and you sit. So it made it to where it didn't incentivize players to just hop around. In comparison now, if I'm not mistaken, you could transfer free of like any penalty twice, and then you could just and then you could just go up and play. So if like you don't like it here, I'm transferring and I play. Yeah, like what's Haley Van Lith? Yeah, what was she at? Louisville, and then she went to South Carolina, and then she did not South Carolina. She went to LSU with Angel, and then now she's somewhere else where. Like she just did 1 year. Yeah. And so you're starting to see that happen. Yeah. Now, what you're saying is what I would like to see is maybe they draw back on that and maybe 1 year you could do that. You know what I'm saying? And then it's not like you said, you bouncing around. Because to me, what it just looked like, and I heard Coach Cooley say this. I was watching the IG clip. And he said, basically what you're doing is, you know, you running from the adversity and you allowing the kids to say, hey, I don't like it here. I'm out. Right. It's like, no, man, you just talked about Penny was saying earlier. The same thing. We was talking about this earlier, just with your son, just the adversity part. Yeah. Like just deal with the adversity, deal with the environment, deal with everything that comes with it. It ain't going to be glitter when you get there. It's a good school is, you know, y'all going to play against competition, put the work in, but it ain't going to be what you ain't going to roll a red carpet out for you. Go out there and take it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when it comes to stuff like that, man, and these new rules, like the JUCO rule, like, man, come on, man. Like the eligibility, you know, you guys need to count that, you know, and stop giving these guys extra years because we don't want no 30-year freshman dribbling the basketball. He should look better than
You know, you rarely get the guys, and I was talking to your son about Jeremiah Fears. Like, that's my new favorite. Every year I got a new favorite up and coming talent. When Keontae George was playing, I loved Keontae George. He doing his thing in Utah. I wish he'd be more aggressive and be one of those guys like a John Morant for that team and score, but it's NBA politics with that. But, you know, like Jeremiah Fears, I watched him for the first time. I was hearing about him, and I'm like, he's a true freshman. That's what we like to hear.
Right.
We want to hear the guy that's true freshman, that he's just cut from a different cloth.
Right.
And he didn't have 3 years of JUCO to prepare to play his freshman year at a university.
And you just said something that I think, just to cut in really quickly.
Go ahead, man.
Well, we not even thinking about the fact that it could be a reclass that did 2 years.
Right.
And then 4 years. So now we talking about 7
years.
So like easily. And the thing is, like, it's not like reclassing is like so far in between. Like, you see it a lot now. Like it's very modern. Like, it's a new, it's common. That's the word I'm looking for. Where you'll see in very soon a lot of that puts you at 25 years old. That'll put you 2 years and then 5 years.
That was like in a different sport. But
6 years.
Chris Winkie? He was like 32 years old as a rookie quarterback in the NFL.
Yep. Shout out for, what was he at? Florida State?
Right, Florida State. Like, come on, man. Like, we got to stop that, man.
I don't know how I feel about like making it consistent to where you have 25-year-old college basketball players. Then my thing is like, damn, they got to have like a whole...
like, come on, man. Like, me and you should go and walk on.
Right. That's what it feels like. Like, damn, what degree? I guess you working on your doctorate now.
Right.
Like, you done did 4 years plus an extra 2. And then you, like you said, like, if you a reclass, you didn't have the prep year. I don't know.
You get them players like that. You remember, like, and there's no knock to your heels, but like Baycott just seemed like he was there for years. Like,
well, I mean, RJ Davis is kind of the same.
Same thing.
I'm kind of ready for like that crew. I was happy that Caleb Love left. Like, I want to see like Elliot Cadeau, Ian Jackson. Just give it to the kids. Our recruitment class doesn't line up talent for talent. To where y'all is. Where like a lot of times we'll get 1 or 2, but a lot of them we gotta develop for a year.
And y'all did a really good job at that.
Yeah, shit. Trimble found the jump shot this year.
And he was a high flyer, right?
He that was it.
That's Vince Carter.
They was just letting him shoot. They just was sitting back and like, you got it.
Well, shout out to Trimble for finding that jump shot.
Right. Okay. All right. So I guess this would be a quick way to segue us over. Again, we hit college. We didn't hit high school. We can talk about the league a little bit.
We got to talk about them Hornets too. Don't run from that cue.
We can't actually, but we gonna get there.